Hi there, Scorpio. Dadhichi here from astrology.com.au with your monthly overview. It's just an overview. Of course, for more detailed information, you can go to the site and, for the real thing, we need to calculate your horoscope and look at the specifics of the time and the place you were born. But interestingly, some Scorpios I know are having difficulty meditating, difficulty focusing just now. That's like the circumstances around them are pulling all these strings where they have very little time to actually focus on themselves and do what they really want to do. It's like embarking upon a journey in life, and then as time goes on, the extraneous affairs, which are sometimes very important, start to steal them away from the very thing that they wanted to do. For example, someone wants to start a business. They love to arrange flowers. So they study their floral course, open a florist shop, start doing business, but then the business starts to grow, but then they have to start looking at the books, and then eventually they end up in the back room hiring a couple of other florists, doing the very thing that they loved in the beginning, but never have time to do because they've got too many responsibilities associated with the business at hand. Now, I want you to take what I've just said then and extrapolate that, extend that to other areas of your life. That can happen in relationships as well. And that I talk about because shortly, in this next week or so, Saturn will move to the sun sign of Scorpio. It's a 2.5-year transit. I gave you a hint of this over the last couple of monthly readings, but I think it's important for me to highlight this because Saturn is the planet of responsibility. Now, depending on which date between October 24th and November 22nd you were born, the early born Scorpios, such as myself, will feel this immediately. The additional responsibility that weighs in with this transit, Saturn to the Sun, will be pretty impactful. Now, those of you born at the very tail end of Scorpio will be feeling this sometime around 2014. So you guys don't have to worry, it's me and the rest of my early Scorpion star brothers and sisters that have to bed down and prepare themselves for this. So you need to be prepared for this. This is really like tuning into what's going on around you, tuning into what's coming. A lot of you will know that there's a lot more expectation on you. Some of you may, if you're in the right age bracket, may be starting families. Some of you, like me, even in your mid-50s, will be starting a family. I'm expecting a child this month, would you believe? Wow. So that's a responsibility. So Scorpio, you'll be feeling this, but it's nothing to be scared of. As I say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. The secret here, I think, especially because Mercury is with Saturn, is to inject a bit of joy and happiness and love in what you're doing. The perception that something is hard is a perception. That's why a lot of sporting masters actually get psychology training, positive mental attitude, visualizing precisely what it is you're trying to achieve, and then performing the action surrounding that specific thing. So if you've got some idea of what it is you want to do, you need to practice that in the brain. You need to shift the perception from hard to fun, from tedious to interesting. Okay, you need to look at this challenging period as a way of opening up. And it doesn't matter what age you are. I think this month is a very, very important month for Scorpio, having that planet, believe it or not, for the first time in nearly 30 years, coming to our sun sign, my dear Scorpio brothers and sisters. You'll feel it, but depending on the mental attitude you take, this is what's going to give you the resilience to handle this. We have the full moon occurring right now. If you look out there, you'll see it. It's just sort of off the boil now. It's been full the past couple of days. It's in the 6th house. Health issues can come to the fore just now under this. And of course that makes sense, you know, when you've got that additional burden or that sense of responsibility and you're feeling a bit stuck, stuck in the rut, then that pressure, that anxiety, that tension can give rise to physical problems. So there's a dual purpose here, me telling you to approach this with a positive mental attitude firstly, because that's just generally going to make your life and whatever it is these events are going to bring to you easier, but it's going to help you physically. You need to just breathe through this and not get too hung up. The new moon takes place in a couple of weeks in this 12th house of hidden, secret, quiet zone of the zodiac. Now what could happen here, as it's going to happen for me, for a lot of you, you're going to see a more productive period taking place in solitude, working from behind closed doors rather than being in the limelight. Although I must say you've got Venus moving into the zone of relationships, particularly social relationships, very, very shortly. Let's get a fix on that for you. Transit of Venus. Let's have a look here. Venus moving to October 7th, very, very shortly. So within this first week. Now the interesting thing there is that there's a confusing aspect of Neptune that causes you to wear your rose-coloured glasses. You mustn't escape from all these responsibilities. That's what can happen under this transit. The energies are too much. You seek some sort of backdoor exit. You've got all these planets in the 12th house of secrets, one's own undoing. Don't do things that are going to cause you to regret later. Some friendships are going to have to give way to this new cycle for you. In other words, it's not that you have to give up your friends, but you may have to change the nature or the terms on which you base these relationships. So that's going to happen very early in the piece. Okay, that's a snippet. Join me at the website, astrology.com.au. We've got a lot of free stuff there. You've got the daily readings on a day-by-day basis, the yearly forecast so you can contextualize what I've said here, and the text-based different readings for the month for Scorpio every month. So please join us there, and by all means send me your thoughts if you wish to. The email address is there at the side as well. Till next month, thanks for joining. Bye for now.